there's another one that talks about the heart beat. So when your heart is beating, there are some narrations that talks about for each beat it makes, it asks its Lord, should I continue beating? You see, all of this shows you that for it to continue to function, it's dependent on God. But there's more. For it to continue to exist itself, it's dependent on God. If it grants me, your existence is dependent on God, and your continued existence is dependent on God, nothing in there can you ever show that you have power. All power will be given back to the one that sustains you and that created you in the first place. So you don't have power. That's all I'm trying to show in this video. So for a step that you want to take, for each step that you take, you have to understand that it is actually God allowing you to do that, allowing you, keeping you in existence for that to be possible. Okay, so normally the way we explain occasionalism is a kind of mechanistic something. Some people even use puppets, but we don't need to do that. If you just understand the idea of providence, or what I just told you about sustaining existence, then my point is made. Because all I need for occasionalism to be true is that the ultimate, the one that decides what happens is God.
Okay, so the main point is this. When we are discussing with, for instance, the Salafi or someone that is familiar with, I think Sheikh Ibn Taymiyyah, someone like Brother Jake, the Muslim metaphysician, where he was talking about, he has always been talking about Asharite Aqidah, and they believe in occasionalism, and they believe that they don't believe in secondary power and stuff. I think the issue can be structured in the way I've outlined it. When we start talking about secondary power, what are we talking about really? Do the Asharites think you cannot lift your cup, or you cannot play football, or you cannot run, or you don't have power, or Muhammad Ali is not stronger than some bloke down the street? No, the Asharites don't believe this. This is not the position of the Asharites. So if you mean secondary power in the sense that amongst the creation, we humans, amongst ourselves, can we create a concept of power that we can say, okay, this guy has more power than this guy, and that and that? Of course, that is not the issue. The issue is when we bring God into the picture. When you bring God into the picture, you cannot then speak of power anymore. Your power becomes insignificant when you bring God into the picture. So when the Quran says, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, God is not denying that amongst you can create the concept of power, that you have power and I have power and stuff like that. But God is telling you the real power belongs to God. Because the secondary power you're talking about is not actually the real power. It will never be possible if God didn't allow it. So your power is conditioned. There's a condition on it. What is that condition? The will of God. And God's power has no condition. He is the source of all power. Therefore, all power belongs to God. So you cannot make a scriptural case against us or any serious case, because why would you even be advocating for that and still be claiming to be the orthodox and saying that you are more true to the scripture than us? We are actually the ones giving all power back to God. You are saying there should be some kind of secondary power. We are saying when you are talking about between us and God, there is no secondary power. But between each other, we can create a concept of power and say we have power. But when you bring God into the picture, any of such kind of power is not real. The real power is actually God's providence, is power. Anyway, I hope you guys get the video. See you guys later. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.